Peace. Good morning, family. How you doing? It's Mr. R2 here at Consistency is Currency, your morning podcast of choice. I just want to say good morning to you, and I thank you for being here and sharing this digital space with me as I sit, as I sit and share with you. Wow, I don't even know where that came from. But today is April the 12th, just 6 days past my birthday, my born day, whatever you want to call it, Earth Day, where the sun has circled around the sun. I mean, where the earth has circled, well, the sun circled around the earth 46 times for me. So good morning to you. For everyone that had the ability to wake up and again to be on this side of the dirt, I thank uh, uh, you for being here. Those that are on the YouTube space, again, those that are in the podcast world, again, thank you 1,000,000%. All right, here we go. We're going to jump into this real early. So I got a story, and I want you to think about it. So I'm gonna bring this up just for you to see. Nurture your success. You see the flower pot. All right. So for all those individuals that know and understand as far as planting, green thumb, whatever it is. Oh man, I ain't seen the loctician in a minute. So think about a flower pot. Success is something that is a process. It is a process because it takes time. It is a process because it's certain things and certain measures in order for you to get to a particular place in your life. So the flower pot is just an object, but you have nature and nurture. The flower pot itself is there for you to take action. But when you place the seed, it is natural for you to place the seed into the flower pot because you know that you're placing the seed in its natural environment. In order for it to grow, you place the seed in the natural environment. That's just like you. But as you place this natural environment, it has no other responsibility but to grow. But in order for it to grow, that's where your nurturing capabilities come in. In order for you to facilitate growth, you're going to have to do things that is going to nurture the tree or the flower to grow to its highest potential. So we talked about yesterday keeping success in your mouth, and now we're talking about nurturing success. So after you understand that success is in your mouth, you speak with success, you walk with success, you talk with success, you're hanging around success, you're communicating with people on how success has built a life for you. And now that it is in your mouth, we're going to talk about how do you nurture it, because the process didn't end because you created a successful way of doing things. Now you have to nurture it to create that muscle memory to do it over and over again. And those are the things, that's what we're talking about today, is to nurture your success. So make sure you take this live right now and share it in your on your timeline, or share it into a Facebook group. And after you share it into a Facebook group, just go ahead and put the word done, just so we can checks and balances. That's all it is. Because when you actually leave a comment, it pushes the algorithm out there. It places it a lot higher on your news feed, and it helps the channel just to get bigger and better. So we're talking about nurturing your success. Nurture your success. And as you already know, well, for those that are new to the platform, we go through the definition just so you can begin to learn just a little bit about wording itself, because a lot of times when you look at wording, we don't go back to learning what the words mean, because you can be communicating with someone about a certain thing but have been completely using it out of context for a long time. So we're going into the definition. Now we're going to go back because we spoke about it yesterday, but I wanted to make sure that I bring the definition of success back. And this time I actually inverted it. I put the red and the white in it. So the definition of success is the achievement of something desired Planned or attempted. Success is the state or condition of meeting a defined range of expectation. Now, I love this definition yesterday and how it played out. So I'm going to read it again and then I'm going to invert it. The achievement of something desired, planned, or attempted. Success is the state or condition of meeting a defined range of expectation. So the inversion on the invert on this is red over white, which is the achievement of a defined range of expectation. So how do you see that definition or the invert in this? The achievement of a defined range of expectation. How do you see that? Put that inside the chat. Just so I want you to begin to formulate your own understanding on how you can define success for you, because it is an achievement of a defined range of expectation. So now we're going to go into nurture. Again, nurture. So I was studying nurture over natural, and that's a very interesting read when you look that up. So if you get some time today, look up nurture versus natural. There's a lot of good information out there, and see if those things can apply to you. So the definition of nurture is the environmental variables that impact who we are, including childhood experiences, how we were raised, or social relationships, and our surrounding culture. So now when we're talking about success, we're going to invert it. The environmental variables that impact our surrounding culture. Culture meaning your way of life, how you are developing. Because if your nurturing abilities when it comes to keeping success in your mouth, that means how do you evolve and how do you actually ensure that it is going to happen again, because it is a teachable moment. Because remember, we talked about like early, like when we first started, uh, uh, um, when we first started the podcast, Consistency is Currency, we had a segment called 2% environment, which was the first 28 minutes of your day, how your environment can possibly dictate the rest of your day. What do you do in the beginning of your day? So looking at this, the environmental variables that impact. So if we're talking about the 2% of your day, those things that you do in the morning could apply to being the variables that impact the things that you do that surround the culture of what you're doing in that day. So like for those who read, or for those who listen to YouTube videos, or those who go walking or running or whatever it is, how do you nurture your health? So if you're nurturing your health by eating properly in the morning, that could be one of the variables that impact your day. So to nurture that level of success, you're going to have to understand that in order for me to supply what I need for me, I must ensure that I am nurturing the right things that could ultimately impact my line of success. Again, nurture your success. What are the things that you're doing that is going to be impactful? It's like planting of the seed into the flower pot. If I plant the seed into the flower pot, it doesn't end there. I still have to give it water. I still have to ensure that it's in the proper position. Those variables, the environmental variables. I set the flower pot into where the sunlight is, where it's visible. So those proper variables will impact how the actual tree or how the actual plant will grow. So what are you doing? So now let's talk about three different things, and then we're going to jump into it. So there's three things that I want you to look at when you're nurturing your success. One, exposure. Exposure. So what are you exposing yourself to? The act of placing oneself at risk, meaning, are you willing to take the risk to be successful? Writing down your plans, your outlines, and then after you write your plan and your outline, taking the leap, taking the step, stepping out on faith, just like walking the stairs. Walking the stairs is faith that you take every time you take that step. As you get higher and higher, you're taking more risk. But what are you exposing yourself to that is going to create a successful way of thinking or a successful way of doing things? What are you exposing yourself to? Maybe you need to go to a conference, whether it is in person or something that is online. Expose yourself to new things, and then your level of success can begin to be nurtured because you are putting yourself in the position to learn more things. You're putting yourself in a position to where, like for me, again, those who really know me, I'm naturally introverted, but I'm not afraid to expose myself to learn something new. I'm not afraid to expose myself and put myself in a position to where I'm learning from someone else, as opposed to me always teaching, but having the ability to be teachable, exposing myself to the teachable moment. That is another way that you can begin to nurture your success. And the next thing is what is the experience? Your experience. What type of knowledge or skill are you acquiring in during that period of time? Because again, remember the flower pot. You put the seed into the pot, but it's the experience or the skills that you have that is actually going to make that plant grow. How are you taking care of it? Because if the plant begins to outgrow the pot, your experience and your skill set is going to tell you that I need to take this plant out of this pot and put it into a bigger pot in order for the plant to grow higher, or in order for the plant to grow at a much more faster rate. And that's the same thing that you deal with. What experiences have you gained in order for you to be successful? Running into that wall can be an experience. That can be a skill set that you've acquired. Why? Because I've learned this lesson from hitting that wall, that I know that I don't have to hit the wall again because I experienced what that feels like. I experienced what it looks like. I experienced what it smelled like. So therefore, that particular event or occurrence has begun to shape the who that I am, or I has begun to shape and create some sort of impression on what I want success to look like for me, because I have been exposed to the experience. Don't be afraid to grab a different book, or don't be afraid to go out and learn and gather something new, because that new experience of success that you have can be duplicated based off of what you are exposing yourself to, based off what you are exposing your child to. Because nurturing is an innate ability. That means that is something that is inside of you, that is different than genetics. That is how you shape and mold your child's characteristics. Because if you're teaching your child how to be successful and they see mommy or daddy doing it, or you're teaching them what success is, because when you're teaching what success is, then they know what it looks like because of their experiences of success, or the things that you're exposing them to that are successful, giving them the ability to understand that I am going to reach for what I am expecting to happen, because I know that I have the ability to achieve that. So I will reach for the things that I want. My destination will be exposed when I get there. And because of my experience on what I know it feels like, is going to allow me to do it again. And the last E that I want you to look at, the 3 E's, the last E is the expression. Now, the expression it comes with a process. It comes with a process because it takes time. The expression is a process of making things known through your feelings or your thoughts. Because if I know I've done this particular thing and I have expressed success by communicating or teaching other people because I have learned something, so therefore my expression can possibly be viewed on my face or showing that particular emotion. So I will express success by teaching other people what I've learned. So I am going to nurture a culture of success with the people that I surround myself with, or I'm going to put myself in position. So now when it is time for me to put someone else in position, I know what that position looks like because I have the ability to create it over and over again. And another thing that I want you to understand is that your expression could possibly begin to create that aha moment for you. Because when you begin to know and feel what success looks like, know and feel what success made you feel and how it made you feel, and those emotions that you have accomplished something, that emotion then becomes contagious. More people that surround themselves with you want to be successful as well, because they seen what it made you feel like, what success feels like. Because failing, you know what that feel like, and you know what you don't want to feel like again because of something wasn't as successful. But you have to change that. And when you change that based off of the expression of not wanting to be exposed to that again, or nor do you want to go through that experience again, then you're going to do things that is going to create a successful culture in the body of people that you surround yourself with, because you will exude success, especially through the expressions of what you say and how you say it. People can feel that. Have you been around someone that you considered as successful? That person exudes a certain level of confidence that you can possibly physically feel the energy coming off that individual, because they exude so much success that you just when they walk into the room, or you feel it when they say certain things, or you feel it when you understand, like, man, that looked like success. I want that. That's like back in the day when we were kids, like my car, it's the same thing. You can be like, I got that. I want that. I want to know what that feels like. So you're going to have to do those things to expose yourself in order for you to get to know what that feels like. I don't care how many times you bumped your head. I don't care how many times you fell down. I don't care how many times you lost it all. You have the ability to nurture success. Again, it is a process. It's not something that is going to happen overnight. It's not something that you're going to say it and it happens. It is something that you have to express. Yes, you can say it, but then you have to nurture it in order for it to come to pass. You don't plant a seed in a garden and expect to harvest in the morning. So why do you feel that in your natural life it's going to happen overnight? You have to begin to love the process of nurturing success. And when you love that process of nurturing success, then you can actually begin to duplicate that process over and over again, because you know what you expose yourself to in order for you to be successful. You know the experiences that you've gained in order for you to be successful. And you know the expression of what success made you feel like. And then you duplicate that process. And the duplication is being consistent over and over again. All right. That's all I got for you. Y'all be blessed. And I see you tomorrow morning, 7:30, right here. consistency is currency, the morning podcast of choice. Y'all be blessed. Peace.